Ravenswood, a quaint name for a town shrouded in unease. Nestled amidst whispering pines, it held a secret, a legend whispered through generations. The story of Abigail and Thomas, lovers bound by fate. They were to be married. The whole town celebrated their union. But their joy was short-lived. A darkness fell upon them. The legend spoke of a chilling transformation on their wedding day. Abigail, once radiant, became withdrawn. Her laughter died, replaced by a haunting silence. Thomas, once full of life, seemed to age rapidly. His eyes, once sparkling, grew vacant and distant. The townsfolk watched in fear and confusion. Abigail and Thomas were no longer themselves. They wandered the town like restless spirits. They spoke of shadows and unseen forces. Their once bright love story had become a twisted nightmare. Then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. The couple vanished, gone without a trace. The townsfolk whispered of curses and vengeful spirits. They believed the legend to be true. Their fear solidified into an unspoken rule: never speak of marriage in Ravenswood. Generations passed. The legend of Abigail and Thomas loomed over Ravenswood. The fear of marriage became deeply ingrained. Young love was stifled. Relationships remained superficial. No one dared to tempt fate. The townsfolk lived in the shadow of the legend. Ravenswood became a town of broken promises and shattered dreams. The once vibrant community was now defined by its fear. The legend had taken root in their hearts, poisoning their view of love and commitment. They were trapped in a cycle of fear passed down through generations.
Then came Elena and Jacob. They were two souls destined to meet, their paths crossing in the most unexpected of places.
Full of hope and unaware of the town's dark history, they ventured into the unknown, their hearts filled with dreams and aspirations. Newcomers to Ravenswood, a place shrouded in mystery and whispers of a forgotten past. They were different, standing out against the backdrop of the town's somber and reserved inhabitants.
Their love was a beacon of light in the darkness, a warmth that defied the cold, eerie atmosphere of Ravenswood. They fell in love amidst the town's somber atmosphere, their laughter echoing through the foggy streets, bringing a sense of hope to a place long forgotten by joy.
A future that defied the legend, a love that challenged the very fabric of the town's cursed history. They dreamed of a future together, a life where their love could flourish without the shadows of the past looming over them.
They felt the weight of the unspoken rule, the silent agreement that had kept the town in darkness for so long. They saw the sadness in the townspeople's eyes, the weariness that came from years of living under the shadow of the curse.
But they refused to let fear dictate their lives. Their love gave them strength, a determination to change their fate and the fate of Ravenswood.
Elena and Jacob were determined to break the curse that held Ravenswood captive. They delved into the town's history, uncovering secrets long buried and forgotten.
Their love story was about to rewrite history. Together, they would face the darkness, challenge the legends, and bring light back to Ravenswood. Their journey was just beginning, and with each step, they grew stronger, their bond unbreakable. The town would never be the same again.
Their quest for the truth led them to the town archives. It was a place filled with the whispers of the past, where every corner held a story waiting to be uncovered. The air was thick with the scent of aged paper and the weight of history. Dusty books and forgotten records became their map. Each page they turned, each document they examined, brought them closer to unraveling the mystery that had shrouded Abigail's life for so long. The archives were a labyrinth of knowledge, and they were determined to navigate it. They yearned to understand the legend, to piece together the fragments of a story that had been lost to time. Their curiosity was insatiable, driving them to dig deeper, to question everything they thought they knew, to separate fact from fiction. The line between reality and myth was blurred, and it was their mission to bring clarity. They meticulously examined every artifact, every document, hoping to find the truth, hidden within the layers of history.
It was in a hidden compartment of an old chest that we found it. Abigail's diary. The chest itself was a relic, its wood worn and its hinges creaky, but it held the key to understanding Abigail's story.
Her words, filled with pain and fear, painted a different picture. The diary was a window into her soul, revealing the struggles and emotions she had kept hidden from the world. Each entry was a testament to her strength and vulnerability. Abigail's diary revealed the truth. It was not just a record of events, but a chronicle of her innermost thoughts and feelings. Through her words, we could see the world as she saw it and understand the depth of her experiences. The transformation was not a curse, it was fear. The fear that had gripped her heart and mind, shaping her actions and decisions. It was a fear that was all too human, and it resonated deeply with those who read her diary.
Abigail and Thomas were consumed by the fear of failure. Their love was strong, but the pressures they faced were overwhelming. They feared they would never live up to the expectations placed upon them. The weight of societal expectations crippled them. They felt the constant pressure to conform, to succeed, and it took a toll on their spirits. The burden was too much to bear, and it drove them to the brink of despair. They chose to disappear rather than face their fears. In the end, they made the heartbreaking decision to leave everything behind. Their disappearance was not an act of cowardice, but a desperate attempt to find peace away from the relentless demands of society.
Eleanor and Jacob were stunned. They had always believed in the legend that haunted their town, a legend that spoke of a curse so powerful it could destroy lives. But as they delved deeper into the mysterious old book they found in the attic, they realized something astonishing. The legend wasn't about a supernatural curse that doomed the town of Ravenswood. It was about a very human fear. The fear of commitment that kept people from forming lasting bonds. The fear of vulnerability that made them build walls around their hearts. And most importantly, the fear of the unknown. The fear that paralyzed them from taking risks and stepping into new possibilities.
They realized that the curse wasn't a malevolent force from outside. It was self-inflicted, born from their own insecurities and doubts.
Armed with this knowledge, Eleanor and Jacob knew what they had to do. They had to confront their fears head-on and take control of their destiny. They decided to share Abigail's story, the story of a woman who had once lived in Ravenswood and had faced similar fears. They wanted to show the town that fear was a choice that could be overcome with courage and determination, and that love, true love, was worth fighting for. It was the key to breaking the so-called curse that had plagued their town for generations.
They decided to hold a town meeting. They wanted to bring everyone together and share their newfound understanding, to reveal the truth and break the chains of fear that bound Ravenswood. They believed that by coming together, they could create a new future for their town, one free from the shadows of the past. The town meeting was a turning point. As Elena and Jacob spoke, they saw the fear in people's eyes begin to fade. They saw hope taking its place. And as the first light of dawn broke over Ravenswood, the town knew that a new chapter had begun, a chapter where love and courage triumphed over fear. Elena and Jacob walked hand in hand, ready to face whatever the future held. They had broken the curse, not with magic, but with the power of their hearts. And Ravenswood celebrated, knowing that they had finally been freed from the chains of their own making. The curse was broken, and a new era had begun.
The townsfolk gathered, their faces etched with skepticism. They had heard the legend countless times. What could we possibly tell them?
We stood before them, our voices strong, our eyes filled with conviction. We shared Abigail's words, we spoke of fear, we spoke of love.
Communication, honesty, trust, understanding, forgiveness. These are the steps to overcome the fear of marriage.
We emphasized the importance of seeking help, of talking to someone, of facing their fears head on. We urged the townspeople to choose love over fear.
Silence hung in the air. The townsfolk absorbed the truth, their faces a mixture of shock and relief. The legend had held them captive for too long. Elena and Jacob's courage had shattered the illusion. The fear that had haunted them for generations began to dissipate. A collective sigh swept through the crowd. It was a sigh of release, of hope. For the first time in generations, the future seemed bright. The curse was broken, not by magic, but by truth. Elena and Jacob's love story became a symbol of hope for Ravenswood. They showed the town that love required courage, that vulnerability wasn't weakness but strength, That communication was the key to a strong and lasting bond.
We didn't just talk the talk, we walked the walk.
They built a life together, brick by brick. Their love was a testament to the power of facing your fears. They showed the town that marriage wasn't an ending. It was a beginning, a journey of growth, understanding, and unwavering love. Ravenswood was reborn. The once shuttered houses were filled with laughter. Children played in the streets. Couples walked hand in hand, no longer afraid to show their love. The town was finally free from the shackles of its past. The legend of Abigail and Thomas no longer held power over them. Ravenswood had learned a valuable lesson. Love required courage, honesty, and a willingness to face your fears. The town had embraced these values, and in doing so, they had found something truly special. They had found themselves.